Hello folks, welcome back to another review and thoughts on. I'm deciding to tackle down the first two Jeepers Creepers movies. Of course, the first one came out in 2001. I just got done watching it. I don't mind the first one, or the second one, the third one, if I ever do get to that one. I don't know. Like, the first one has creepy elements in it, creepy scenes, interesting scenes. I like the characters of Derry and Trish, brother and sister, on their way, I guess, from college, spring break, on their way home. And they get stalked by who they believe at first is like a serial killer in a van chasing after them, because they witness him throwing bodies down a shaft thing or tunnel thing, and yeah, they're being pursued by him throughout the movie like a Terminator. If you think about it. Tagline: "This is the most scary, stylish horror movie I've ever seen." Clive Barker. The look of the creeper, yeah, is scary, and if in real life you saw him, and yeah, but the movie overall, is it scary? I would say it's creepy. I wouldn't say it's really that scary. I mean, again, I like the characters I like their bickering at the beginning, or they're arguing and playing this game of like on car plates on the back of cars, they'll make up a thing of gay forever, because like they'll read it backwards sort of, and there's like a plate number where it says like like the creeper's van, on the back of the plate it says "be eating you" or "eating you" or whatever. But yeah, to look at a creeper, you don't know what he is, really. They don't explain that. You get the gist that he's like an artist, or like a sewing creature. Cause like he ends up, when Derry he falls down the tunnel, and he finds dead bodies all around in the room, and like they're all sewn together, and even though they should be like dust and bones, but somehow this creeper, he just preserved them somehow, and that scene was kind of creepy. You get all these dead bodies. Granted, they don't really look like dead bodies, they look more like mannequins, but I mean, I guess that's what the director was going for. And it was written and directed by the same guy, Victor Salva, who, if anybody knows his history, I'm not going to really go into that because I don't really want to. All I'll say is he's a dirtbag, sleazebag, and yeah, other words I will not use on my channel. But we're in this review. But I liked the movie overall. I thought it was an interesting watch of the creep. I know the creeper in the second movie, it's more action oriented in spots, instead of the slow burn creepy atmosphere of the first one, where he's more in the shadows and more stalking. I mean, he stalks people in the second one, but they up the ante with the second one. Even in the first one, like during the end when they're at the police station, and he invades the police station. It would have been cool if he like just took out like most of that police station, but like if we had like a Terminator stylized scene where it's the creeper, but he has his weapons and he's just like laying waste to all the officers in there, just going to town on them. That would have been awesome. Granted, I guess maybe they didn't have the budget, but that would have been a cool, probably a big highlight of the movie. I know a lot of people probably liked the first one. Second one, they're probably iffy on. Like, they probably don't mind it, but the third one, for sure, people will hate. You will know my thoughts when I get to the third one. When I get to the third one. And when is the question. But, yeah, the first one, again, if I have any cons, if there's nitpicks, I can't really think of any. I mean, the fact that, okay, Derry wants to go back to the church or he wants to go back to that place where he saw the creeper dump the bodies in broad daylight. Really, I would be, if I was in that situation, I don't think I would go back. Granted, he's like, what would you do if it was you back there? But where he wins that case, but then he doesn't, because I would, if I was his sister, I would be like, no, we're not going back. We're driving to a cafe or wherever, and then we'll call the police, because their phone doesn't work because he didn't charge it. But yeah, if I would have just told him, no, we're driving until we see people, and then we'll call the police, and then have them, you know, sort that place out. But then he wants to go back, so then they go back, and then he falls down there in the basement of the church. That's where he sees all the dead bodies. And I noticed they tell like a story of like this high school couple, and I think it was like class of '78. This like couple in that year, like on prom night, I guess they got in a car wreck, and like they never found the head or the bodies of those two teenagers. But then you find out the creeper has their bodies and has the ring. And then I noticed, now I have to look back again and see if I think Derry, he either took that senior class ring or whatever. I think he took it, or maybe he already had a ring on his finger, but it looked like the same ring from the dead bodies. I don't know, but at that point, I just noticed that, like, watching it again, I just noticed, did he take the ring off off that body? But then I like how he explores, like, that house of pain is what the creeper calls it. And, like, you see on the table, it's all webbed and dirty, but he, like, carved in a design of himself. And he has, like, wings, so that's sort of like a snippet or a preview of what the creeper actually looks like before we fully see his form. I do like the rules of he has to, for 23 years, for 23 days, he gets to eat. And then, so if you're lucky enough to just survive like the final day, like if you just happen to run into him on the final 23rd day, I would say that's like the best time to run into, well, really never a good time to run into a creeper, but I'm just saying if you happen to do that, I would say that's your best bet to survive, because he pursues these two like nobody's business. I love the part where the police, two deputies, like when Derry's trying to tell him about what he saw, and like he's like, it's like a psycho version of the Sistine Chapel, because he's talking about all the dead bodies in the church basement, all up on the walls, and the officers are looking at him like he's crazy, and then people see the creeper outside sniffing his laundry, and then the waitress, she's like, he was sniffing at laundry, and it looked like he was liking it too. So I always laugh at that, because like the one officer, the black I don't know their names, but like the black officer or deputy, she's like looking at the waitress, what she's saying, and she's like, "Are you what?" I thought that was funny. You see like it's very quick, but you see like when the camera is panning, when it's facing Trish, and like above like her, you'll see like a shadow of a flap wing, and you'll even hear it too. if you like if you pay attention to that scene, if you like just look at that scene, and you'll either hear or you'll see and hear. See a wing. Also, did we really need to have exposition for the creeper? Now that I think about it, do we really need it? Why not have him just as a mystery, like Michael Myers? We don't know why he kills. We don't know why he eats. But I think I believe at the beginning it does say for 23 days, for 23 days, 20 years or whatever. It's to eat. I think that's either in the opening of the first one or second. I think it's in the second one. It says that. But I don't know if you really needed the rules to be said in this movie, because we already got. Because the audience, I mean, I guess some people will complain, oh, we don't really know how this thing really works. Or they didn't even explain that in the third one, even though it's called supposedly Cathedral, and the director promised, oh, we're gonna get answers, but we never do really. All we get is an old lady having visions, like in the first one. Even though I like that character as Giselle. I don't know who she's played by, but she's funny, because like the sheriff or whoever he is, he's like, you turn off that police scanner, you go to bed, you leave him alone. She's like, you got a fire somewhere, go do something useful. Like, she like tells the sheriff off, and she like explains the whole, it has to scare you in order to find out if something inside of you tells it that it likes. There's something inside of people when they're scared. That's why it pursues people, because then it scares them to see if there's something inside of it that it might like. Inside of them it might like. Hope I explained that right. And I was sort of annoyed with the whole Trish. She's being like really annoying, where she's not listening to what Giselle's saying. She like, first of all, she's telling you stuff that hasn't even happened yet, and then when it does happen, you're still dismissing her whole, why are we standing here talking to her? Even though she told you about the woman with the cats, or she warned you about the woman with the cats, and the church. Like, how would she know that? And then, but that whole part with her ignoring, kind of, I don't know if maybe she's scared and she doesn't really want to hear all this, but she saw the creeper. She ran him over and over again, and she's like denying this woman's help. Granted, she won't really help much, but, and really, there's really no way to stop the creeper if you think about it, because gunshots don't really do much to him, because they shoot him in the second one. They shoot him with a harpoon. That does nothing. It injures him, but then he just regrows parts back again. But I think in the producer, I think there's like a commentary with the producer, and special effects people in the second one on audio commentary. I think they do kind of go into a backstory for the creeper. That's funny, in the commentary, you have to listen to the commentary for either ideas of what the creeper might have been back in whatever decades. Maybe he was a man and he got turned into like this reaper gargoyle thing, or creature, demon, devil thing. That's funny, they don't mention that in the movie, but you gotta listen to a commentary. Maybe I'll get the problems in the second one that I have. Really, it's really only maybe two or three that I have. One major one is the lead character's abilities. But yeah, overall, I like the first one. I think it's a pretty decent movie. I do kind of wish they would have brought Gina Philips back for the second one. Like they were going to do that with the third one, I thought, and then they decided, we're not going to do that. We're going to do the fourth one with her, where she's having revenge on the creeper. So I would have liked it if it was actually the second one where they do a, a revenge story for her character against the Creeper for killing her brother at the end. But oh, also the deleted scenes I think on YouTube, they're okay. Like, but I'm glad they kind of cut those out because like it has one of them has like the Creeper talking, like in the scene where he kills the old lady. He's like holding her up, and then he reveals his face in the silhouette in the dark, and he like says, "Welcome to." He says, I swear he says something dairy, Texas, or Texas dairy, or how you like Texas dairy or something. I could have swore that's what he says something to dairy, the name of dairy, and he says, I swear it's Texas something. But they cut that out for the actual movie, which I'm glad. I forget what the alternate ending is. I think it's the same thing, but it's just maybe a little bit creepier, maybe, or slightly different. But yeah, the ending is basically the poster where he has Derry's eyes. The song Jeepers Creepers, I like, so that's a plus on the radio. Overall, do you like any of these Creepers movies? What ones do you like? Comment down below, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos of mine. And till next time, peace and love. Take care.